videos, and today I'm just going to be officially updating you on some more current latest news. As I did say, my phone's going dodgy at the moment, so I'm going to currently be on here, to do a live stream until my phone comes right again. As I did explain the whole situation to you guys, when my phone's going dodgy, I'll be on here. When my phone's not going dodgy, I will be on my phone, of course, as well. So as you did see earlier on, the video I did earlier on, giving you the Barcelona versus Manchester United preview, of course. Obviously, it is tomorrow evening, of course, in the Champions League quarter-final, second leg at the Nou Camp, of course. And obviously, we probably do know it's going to be a different game tomorrow as it was at Old Trafford, of course, as well. But reflecting on the first leg at Old Trafford, obviously, we do know that Manchester United have got to come back from a one-goal deficit, of course, as well. But anything is possible in the Champions League, because obviously, referring back to the previous round, Manchester United were 2 goals down in the first leg against Paris Saint-Germain, and then in the second leg, we overcome that 2-goal deficit and ended up winning the game by 3-1 in the second leg against PSG. So potentially, we did make history in the Champions League. So now anything is possible, of course. But I'll give you my reflections on the first leg of Manchester United and Barcelona at Old Trafford. I thought Manchester United played really, really well in the first leg, and I thought we were really, really unlucky, to be quite honest with you. We do know, obviously, Barcelona won the game 1-0, obviously with an unfortunate, Luke Shaw own goal, after 12 minutes. But I thought Manchester United played really, really well in the first leg. I thought we took the game to Barcelona. We got to grips, with Barcelona, to be quite honest. I thought we pressed them very, very well. I thought we pressed them high up the pitch very, very well. The desire was good. The tenacity was really, really good indeed. And in the first leg, I was really, really impressed, I was really, really impressed, with some, there was quite a few good individual performances in the first leg. I thought McTominay played really, really well, and I think McTominay is growing and developing and flourishing fantastically well as a Manchester United player, and he has really, really stepped up to the plate as Scott McTominay, in the last couple of weeks, indeed, for Manchester United, he's been playing between the lines very, very well, and I thought in the first leg, Fred really, really had a good game in the first leg as well for Manchester United, and I have been known for criticising Fred, to be quite honest with you, and I do have reservations about him, but I think to be fair to him, in the last couple of games at least, he has really, really stepped up to the plate as Fred, and he's probably more mobile and better on the ball, than the Nemanja Matic. Obviously, we only got Fred last summer, was it for around 47 or 48 million pounds as well, but he played really, really well in the first leg. He was supporting the defence very, very well. He was feeding players ahead of him, really, really well indeed. I also thought Smalling played well in the first leg. I thought Luke Shaw, played well in the first leg for Manchester United as well. Rashford didn't really play to his potential best in the first leg, because for my preference, Rashford, didn't look full 100% fit in the first leg as well. And I think, the recent injuries, Marcus Rashford's had, he's had quite a few injuries most recently, and I think it's taken its toll on Rashford, and I think it's had a bad effect on his game, to be quite honest with you. Rashford, for me, he hasn't graduated to that level. He's not on the same level as the likes of Mbappe, and it could maybe take him maybe 2, maybe 3 years, to emulate to Mbappe's level, but he's still 21, he's still got a lot of years ahead of him, but he hasn't played well, for quite a while now, Marcus Rashford, to be quite honest with you as well. So he wasn't really good in the first leg, even though he had like 4 wasted opportunities, Marcus Rashford as well. But we played really, really well in the first leg. I think the only thing that let us down, we were lacking in that final third, to be quite honest with you. We had a lot of the ball in the final third of the pitch, but we just wasn't creative enough, we wasn't really, creating enough chances, to be quite honest with you as well. And that's what potentially, let us down in the first leg, to be quite honest with you as well. So potentially now, do you think Manchester United are capable of going to a Nou Camp and performing a miraculous comeback, like we did do against Paris Saint-Germain? Well, the good thing about this fixture tomorrow evening, of course, it's going to bring back a lot of memories, for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, of course, because obviously, 20 years ago, which was obviously 1999, obviously when Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was a player, obviously, one of his most iconic moments, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was obviously in the Champions League final, of course, against Bayern Munich at the Nou Camp, when he scored the winner, and of course won Manchester United the treble as well. So this game tomorrow at the Nou Camp is going to bring back a lot of memories for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer as well. Potentially, we do know that obviously, Barcelona have got a great record at home. I don't think Barcelona are as good as they used to be, but they arguably, you know, still one of the best teams in the world. You know, they've arguably got the best player in the world through Lionel Messi, and Lionel Messi was very, very poor in the first leg at Old Trafford. They're a well-established club, as I said, you know, they've got loads of money. You know, the stadium is a static as well. You know, Barcelona's, as I said, they're going to win the La Liga. This is going to be their 4th La Liga in 5 seasons, of course. And Barcelona, of course, drew at the weekend, I think, you know, with Huskia. But obviously, we do know that Barcelona are going to be prepared for this game, because obviously when they drew at the weekend with Huskia, obviously they rested the majority of their first team players, of course, as well. But as I did say, it's not the Barcelona that beat us in the 2011 final, it's not the Barcelona that beat us in the 2009 final as well. So potentially they are beatable, are Barcelona, you know, to be quite honest with you. But Manchester United have got to step up the performance, and we've got to go out there and show a performance at the Nou Camp tomorrow evening, because recently we have been in a bad vein of form, you know, and the performances haven't been really good. And reflecting on the game at the weekend against West Ham at Old Trafford, you know, it was a very below par performance, you know, for Manchester United, you know, to be quite honest with you. I know at the weekend against West Ham, you know, obviously Ole Gunnar Solskjaer rotated the squad. He'd made about 5 changes in the game at the weekend against West Ham. You know, obviously the result was more essential, you know, than the actual performance. But with Manchester United, you know, did get the result somehow. So we did grind that result out. Obviously, you know, it was 2 Paul Pogba penalties. You know, that was enough, you know, to give Manchester United the victory. But that was a pivotal game at the weekend against West Ham. Manchester United had to win, you know, to obviously, you know, keep our top 4 ambitions alive. And Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was saying that Manchester United, of course, you know, do need 15 points indeed. And obviously from Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's preference, he gave his reflection on the game at the weekend. He'd come out, you know, with an honest admission, you know, did Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. You know, he basically said, you know, West Ham, you know, were a better team. He said Man United were lucky, and he said we got away with it, basically. And he said, you know, we were lucky, you know, to get all 3 points at the weekend as well. So that was Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's preference on the game at the weekend as well. So a bit of team news going into this game against Barcelona, as we all know, as well as you all do know, obviously know that Luke Shaw is suspended for this game. And for me, I think Luke Shaw is going to be a big miss, you know, to be quite honest with you, because obviously Luke Shaw is suspended for tomorrow evening's game. He's also suspended for the game against Everton at the weekend as well. And obviously Luke Shaw is our first choice left back, and Luke Shaw is very reliable on that left hand side. You know, he's got the ability to attack. I think he makes them overlapping runs very well indeed. So for this game tomorrow evening against Barcelona, that left back position, I'm going to have concerns about that, you know, to be quite honest with you. There has been reports coming out saying that Darmian has now obviously, you know, recovered from injury, so he could possibly, you know, fulfill that left back position. But it's probably more than likely that maybe Ashley Young will be playing at left back, or maybe Diego Dalot will be playing at left back, because obviously Ashley Young didn't play against West Ham because obviously he was currently suspended. So for my own preference, it'll probably be Ashley Young at left back and Diego Dalot at right back. I know Rojo played at left back against West Ham, but I want Rojo out of this club in the summer, of course, as well, because obviously his Manchester United career has been affected, you know, the amount of injuries he's suffered, and I think he needs to go in the summer, does Marcus Rojo. So for my own preference, it'll probably be Ashley Young at left back and Diego Dalot at right back as well. As we all do currently know, Bay is still out, of course. He's got a concussion as Eric Bay, and he's been in and out of the team this season. If a new centre back is to come in the summer, I think Eric Bay's future could be up in the air as a Manchester United player, you know, to be quite honest with you as well. He's heading into his 4th season now as a Manchester United player, but obviously Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's preferred the likes of Smalling and Jones ahead of Eric Bay, of course, as well. We still know, obviously, you know, Valencia's out with a calf injury as well, so we do know, obviously, you know, Valencia is still out. Obviously Lindelof is set to return in this game as well, you know, tomorrow evening at Barcelona, because obviously, you know, Lindelof didn't play against West Ham, and I've been very impressed with his performances this season. I've analysed his performances, and his performances have really improved this season for Manchester United in that central defensive area. So yeah, Lindelof will be in contention. McTominay is going to be available as well. He'll be starting the game, as Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has confirmed. Obviously McTominay missed West Ham as well, so it should be a midfield of McTominay, Fred and Paul Pogba, you know, to be quite honest with you. There has been talks though going on saying that Matic, could be involved in the game as well, because obviously Nemanja Matic has recently, been out, with an illness. This is why he hasn't been playing lately, Nemanja Matic. So there is some reports saying that he could be available. We know Herrera's still doubtful as well, Amanda Herrera, so he won't be participating in the game. So probably the midfield three, will likely be, McTominay, Fred, and Paul Pogba, of course. And I'd rather select Fred over Nemanja Matic. As I said, I think Fred's probably a better solution, to be quite honest with you as well. And we do know there's been reports going out about Alexis Sanchez as well, going on saying that he could be available for this game. Maybe not start the game, but maybe come on as a substitute, throughout the game, because Sanchez is now injury free. He has recovered from his knee injury. I think Sanchez has missed the last 5 or 6 games for Manchester United, due to injury, and he's sustained quite a few injuries as a Manchester United player, as Alexis Sanchez, as we all know as well. So if he does get the opportunity, Sanchez, obviously he'll be facing his former club, because obviously when Sanchez was a lot younger, obviously he played for Barcelona. Obviously he played for Barcelona, and after Barcelona, of course, he went to Arsenal, of course. But he has struggled with consistency at Manchester United so far, but he could still possibly leave Manchester United in the summer as well. It's also confirmed Rashford will be starting this game as well. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer confirmed that as well, as I did say. Obviously, Rashford didn't start against West Ham on the weekend. He did come on as a substitute, but obviously, he didn't start the game as well. So Rashford should be starting. Possibly Martial could be dropped in this game as well, because his performances have been great as late. But let's be honest, Lingard, Rashford, and Martial's performances haven't been great, for quite a while now. But so I'll go with my starting 11 prediction. As I said, I think it will definitely be De Gea in goal. It'll be Diego Dalot at right back. You go with Lindelof-Small centre back partnership. Ashley Young at left back, midfield three, McTominay, Fred and Pogba, and the front three will be, I think, Rashford probably on the left. I think he performs better centrally, looks more effective centrally, but I think he'll play on the left. I think Lingard will be on the right, and I think Lukaku will be up top. And that attacking line, I've just said to you, that's my prediction, that's my own preference. That is controversy, to be quite honest with you as well. But that's my starting 11 prediction, of course, as well. So it's going to be a big game. As I said, it's going to be a total different game, to the game at Old Trafford, without a shadow of a doubt. Barcelona have got a great static stadium. It holds about 90,000 or 100,000 supporters, getting behind their team, and it's going to be extremely difficult, for Manchester United. So I think our game plan, obviously, will be, to sit back deep. We'll be playing defensive, of course, and obviously Barcelona obviously going to maintain all the ball, to be quite honest with you as well. But I've looked at some of the statistics. Statistically, the home record is absolutely fantastic, especially in Europe as well. But they've got great players, that could cause us all sorts of problems. They've got Messi, they've got Suarez. I know they underperformed at Old Trafford, but I think it's going to be a total different scenario at the new camp. They've got Messi, they've got Suarez. Coutinho hasn't really done much for Barcelona. He's really been inconsistent since he joined Barcelona. As Philippe Coutinho, they've got the likes of Sergio Busquets. For me, he should have been sent off at Old Trafford, Sergio Busquets, for that challenge and McTominay. They've got the likes of Gerard Piqué in there. Jordi Alba as well. He's been very, very effective for them this season as well. So Barcelona have got a great team. They've got Ivan Rakitic there. I compared him, to the likes of Paul Pogba. I think Paul Pogba's better than Ivan Rakitic. When Paul Pogba's playing to his best, and when he's playing in the right vein and manner, I think he's one of the best midfielders in world football. And don't forget, it is incredible what Ivan Rakitic has achieved as a player, I think. But obviously, look at the age difference. Pogba's only 26. Ivan Rakitic, I think, is about 31 years of age. I do like Ivan Rakitic. He's a good midfielder, but he is aging up now, to be quite honest. And obviously, the majority of silverware he has won, Ivan Rakitic has obviously, become as a Barcelona player as well. But it'll be a very, very good game indeed, to be quite honest with you. Manchester United, can we pull a rabbit out of the hat and perform a miraculous comeback, like we did do in the last round against Paris Saint-Germain indeed. To be quite fair, anything's possible in football, but I don't really see it happening. We're definitely going to concede over the new camp, because obviously you can see the deficiencies in Manchester United squad, to be quite honest with you. But I hope Scott McTominay and Fred, put another good performance out, like they did do in the first leg at Old Trafford, to be quite honest with you. I'm not sure what formation we're going to go with. We're going to go with 4-3-3 or I don't know, the 5-3-2 or whatever, something like that as well. But we will see what currently happens anyway. But you can see the deficiencies in Manchester United's squad, as we all know. And obviously I give you an update earlier on tonight on the director of football, of course, as well. More news has updated on the director of football. News has come out about Paul Mitchell, of course, because obviously Man United are looking to hire a director of football to come in, to change the structure of the club and all that. Obviously Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is going to need backing in the summer transfer window, because Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is still in the process of rebuilding this Manchester United team, of course, considering we didn't spend out in January. We didn't spend out, we did spend money last summer, but not much, and last summer obviously, we didn't get us priority targets. But as I said anyway, in relation to the director of football, Paul Mitchell's been mentioned. Reports came out the other day saying that reportedly Man United, Arsenal and Chelsea are chasing Paul Mitchell. Obviously Paul Mitchell is the head of recruitment RP Leipzig, but reportedly it's been revealed that Paul Mitchell is going to make a decision on his RP Leipzig future this summer, of course, as well. But it has said Man United, Arsenal and Chelsea chase him. As I said, he's the head of recruitment RP Leipzig. He's been in Germany a couple of years now, I think. He's still got a contract with RP Leipzig till 2020, but I think RP Leipzig are trying to convince him to sign a new deal with them until 2025, of course, as well. And he used to be head of recruitment at Southampton, Tottenham, where he worked alongside Pochettino, of course, as well. And he's actually born and bred in Manchester. He's actually born and bred in Manchester. Is Paul Mitchell as well. But I think Solskjaer wants to bring at least 5 new additions to Manchester United this summer. He wants to bring at least 5 new additions to Manchester United this summer. Obviously he's expected to orchestrate a big summer clear out. I think we're ready to at least sanction 6 players off this summer. Obviously he's addressed the positions where he thinks Manchester United need to strengthen up. I think we need a right back. We need someone young and ambitious on that right, and it's good that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has emphasised his targets. He's interested in quite a few young players as well. But yeah, I think we need someone young and ambitious on that right. We need a right winner. I think we need a couple of additions in midfield as well, and I think potentially we need a centre back. I think on the left hand side we're okay, because that's where the majority of the attack is coming from, that left hand side. But you can see the deficiencies in the squad, and obviously Ole Gunnar Solskjaer wants to build a squad worthy of the club's history. Reportedly we're going to get around about £250 million to spend this summer, so that's going to be Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's spending spree. But it is essential that we get the players that are capable and have got the ability to elevate Manchester United, of course, in the next 2 to 3 years. But it's good that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is making plans for the summer. I think maybe we should be sensible with our recruitment this summer, because as I do keep saying, there's quite a lot of players out there that are available for a reasonable figure, of course, as well. Potentially not as good as the players that are obviously more expensive, but maybe we should, as I did say, should be sensible with our recruitment this summer. But obviously I know recently when United have been in bad form, the performances haven't been really that good, but I still think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is the right man for Manchester United. I definitely still think he's the right man for Manchester United. Okay, he hasn't got a great managerial pedigree and all that, but obviously now Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's got the job permanently. It's for 3 years, of course, as well. And obviously his expectation levels are going to be to get Manchester United back to the powerhouse, as we was under Alex Ferguson, and hopefully somewhere along the line get us back up there, challenging and winning trophies, of course, as well. And maybe next season our aspirations, maybe top 4. Obviously this season our aspirations is to try and get in that top 4 as well, because obviously we do want a Champions League, of course, for next season as well. Let's get this string. But as I did clearly say, a lot of money has been spent at Manchester United, as we all currently know. A lot of money has been spent at the club. Nearly £700 million, I think, has been spent at Manchester United. This is obviously since Alex Ferguson's retired. We've seen players come in. We've seen players leave as well. So obviously Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is still in the process of rebuilding this Manchester United team, and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is obviously our 4th permanent manager, since Alex Ferguson retired. And obviously it's quite remarkable how we're still in the race for the top 4, of course. Because obviously when Ole Gunnar Solskjaer first got recommended to come in, obviously Manchester United, were 11 points behind top 4, of course, as well. So we're definitely still in the race for top 4 as well. So there has been a lot of rumours going on today about some transfer news. I do want to give you guys an update on, as well as I've been keeping you up to date on. There has been a lot of talks going on today again about Koulibaly. Obviously we're in search to get a central defender in, someone that can go alongside Victor Lindelof in our back line. And Koulibaly, of course, Manchester United have been long admirers of the Senegal international. He's still got a lot of years ahead of him. He's 27. He's going on 28. Of course, I think his defensive capabilities are really, really good. He obviously for Napoli, he's been in Italy now with Napoli a number of years. He's gone on to make over 200 appearances, for Napoli football club as well. And obviously reports came out the other day saying that he was allegedly, racial abused by a fan or something like that. But I think he was subjected to racial abuse, back in December last year as well. But the rumours do continue to position Koulibaly reportedly coming to Manchester United this summer. But now recent reports have just come out saying that Napoli are demanding that they want £110 million for Koulibaly this summer if they are willing to do any business for Koulibaly. So reportedly, Napoli want around £110 million for him. Recent reports have said that Man United have put an offering of around £90 million for Koulibaly as well. So potentially we are going to have to pay a world record fee, if we've got any chances of getting Koulibaly this summer. Obviously back in January, Manchester United inquired about getting him. Back in January, Manchester United had 3 bids turned down for Koulibaly. The most recent one was £95 million. Obviously we tried getting him last summer, but obviously we couldn't come to an agreement to get him last summer. He just recently signed a new deal with Napoli, so he's under contract with Napoli until 2023 as well. And Napoli only paid around £6 or £7 million in from Genk, back in 2014. So I think this is Koulibaly's 5th season now as a Napoli player as well. But Manchester United, of course, have been long admirers of him as well. So we need someone that can go alongside Victor Lindelof in our back line. So it is essential that we get a new centre back in the summer, because we haven't had a world-class centre-back, since we had the likes of Vidic and Ferdinand, of course, because they were a fantastic, centre-back partnership, back in the day as well. There's also been a lot of rumours, going on today as well, in relation to Moussa Dembele from Lyon as well. And there's been quite a lot of rumours, going on about him today. He's saying Manchester United are possibly considering a summer move for Moussa Dembele. It also mentioned Arsenal were interested as well. Moussa Dembele is only very, very young. He's only 22 years of age. He's a France international. Of course, he plays for Lyon, of course. This is only his 1st season with Lyon. But I think reportedly, he's attracted interest from Manchester United and Arsenal based on his fantastic performances this season with Lyon. This is only his 1st season with Lyon, as I did say, because Lyon got him last summer from Celtic. I think Lyon paid just under £20 million for Moussa Dembele, and I think he's got a 5-year deal with Lyon, so I think that he's under contract with Lyon until 2023. I think so far this season he's scored about 19 goals for Lyon as well. So reportedly his performances have been very, very impressive indeed, Moussa Dembele's. But as I did say, he's only 22 years of age, of course, but it has said Manchester United have showed an interest in him. It's also said Arsenal showed an interest in him, and obviously he's a former Celtic player. I think he did serve a couple of years with Celtic. He's also an ex-Fulham player as well, where he served about 3 years in the senior squad. I think he's got about 19 goals in 64 appearances for Fulham as well. So there has been quite a few talks about him, going on today as well. He is a striker, obviously. There has been reports going out that Man United could consider, moving Romelu Lukaku on this summer as well, because obviously maybe some United fans want to see Lukaku move on, because obviously for me, my preference on Lukaku is that his goal scoring record is really, really good. He can score goals, but I think I've got a lot of reservations about Romelu Lukaku. His touch concerns me. His finishing isn't good enough. He doesn't get enough them runs in behind. So for me, he isn't reliable enough. He's got a great pedigree in the Premier League. Don't get me wrong. And he's still got a lot of years ahead of him. So Manchester United paid quite a bit of money for him. Paid £75 million for him, a couple of years ago. So he could be reportedly be leaving this summer. So maybe Manchester United could identify Moussa Dembele as a possible replacement for Romelu Lukaku as well. So there has been talks about that, going on today in the media as well. But we do know, basically, you know, that got mentioned in the presser the other day as well, and this is another player I'd love to come to Manchester United, of course, as well. The other week, as I updated you on, actually, there was a lot of talks going on about arriving Lozano as well. He's only 23 years of age, of course. He's Mexican, as we all know, and I think it did say, you know, Man United have been scouting, you know, the player, you know, for a number of years now, of course, and I think Man United have been long admirers of the player as well. Reports came out the other week saying that Manchester United have held talks, you know, with his agent Raiola, you know, arriving Lozano's, because maybe arriving Lozano this summer may be keen on making the move to Old Trafford as well. His performances, I've analysed his performances for PSV. I've watched him a couple of times, not much, and he's been very, very impressive indeed. He's got the ability to attack. He can provide, he can also score goals as well, he can play as a winner, he can also play as a forward as well, you know, can arrive in Lozano. Obviously he's available for a reasonable figure as well. It did mention in the media the other week that reportedly his release clause is around £34 million, of course, as well, so he's available for reasonable figures, arriving Lozano. Also was very, very good in the World Cup last summer with Mexico as well, so there were a lot of talks going on about that the other week, because it actually said that he had spoken to Javi Hernandez. Obviously Javi Hernandez is a former Manchester United player. He obviously served 5 years as a Manchester United player, did Javi Hernandez, and Arriving Lozano spoke to him, and Arriving Lozano asked Hernandez about life at Old Trafford, because obviously Hernandez, you know, obviously had the experience of being at Old Trafford, and Hernandez actually urged Arriving Lozano, you know, to make the move to Old Trafford this summer, and I think it'd be a good solution. I think it'd be the right solution, you know, for Manchester United, you know, with Arriving Lozano, and as I did say, I think he'd link up well with Martial, Rashford and Martial in our front line as well, but we definitely need someone on that wing, you know, without a shadow of a doubt, indeed. We do basically know that the club's #1 priority target is Jadon Sancho. Again, he'd be the right solution for Manchester United, but again, he's only very, very young. Not too long ago, just turned 19 years of age. But again, he's going to cost Manchester United around £100 million, of course. And we do need someone on that right-hand side that can play between the bylines, you know, put crosses into the box. And Jadon Sancho is capable of doing that, to be quite honest. I did say, I think he combined very, very well in our attacking line, you know, alongside Rashford and Martial and all that as well, you know, with Jadon Sancho. But again, he's going to cost us around £100 million. He's one of England's youngest upcoming talents, is Jadon Sancho. And I've analysed his performances, you know, for Borussia Dortmund. You know, they've been absolutely fantastic indeed. And I think he's heading now into his 3rd season, you know, as a Borussia Dortmund player with Jadon Sancho. And Borussia Dortmund have been known for doing business with their players, of course. You know, they did it with Pulisic, Aubameyang, Ousmane Dembele, of course. But he's not going to come cheap, of course. And he's got a contract with Borussia Dortmund till 2022. Obviously, he's had experience of playing in English football, because he's a former Manchester City player where he did serve a couple of years, so that could be beneficial for Manchester United in that aspect, you know, if he was, you know, to possibly, you know, make a move in the summer, of course. But he never actually broke into the first team with Manchester City, or he were never like guaranteed to get regular in the first team with Manchester City, and this is the main reason why he left City, of course, and went to Borussia Dortmund a couple of years ago as well, and he still remains Borussia Dortmund now, and it is going to cost us around £100 million. So obviously, you know, Man United, if we could come to an agreement to get him in the summer, obviously it's going to make him the most expensive English footballer ever as well. So I still think he's the club's #1 priority target. Obviously, definitely, we need some new additions in that midfield as well. You know, without a shadow of a doubt, indeed, because obviously it's looking like Ander Herrera, of course, is on his way out of the club as well. Ander Herrera, for me, he has been a good servant to Manchester United. You know, don't get me wrong. You know, this is his 5th season now at the club. You know, Ander Herrera's. He's made about 187 appearances for the club as Ander Herrera, but I think he's on his way out of Manchester United this summer. Because obviously reports came out the other week saying that he's agreed a deal to join PSG on a 3 at the end of the season, and I think it's a 3-year deal worth around £150,000 a week as well. So essentially it's good now. Obviously Man United are emphasising, you know, a couple of targets, you know, that could possibly, you know, replace Ander Herrera of course as well. But Herrera is 29, as I did say. I think he has been a good servant for United. This is his 5th season now at Manchester United, of course, and obviously he hasn't recently been playing, you know, due to injury, of course, as well. But you can say it is money thrown away, you know, to be quite honest. You know, we paid nearly, was it about 29-30 million pounds for him from Atletico Bilbao, you know, back in 2014 as well. But we have been locked in contract negotiations with Ander Herrera, and obviously it allegedly said that Herrera was demanding £200,000 a week from Manchester United. Reportedly, Man United were not willing to meet his £200,000 a week wage demands, and this is potentially why I think he's made his decision and he's going to PSG on a free at the end of the season as well. So there's been quite a few midfielders, you know, Manchester United of course have been linked with as well. You know, as I did say, you know, there's been a lot of talks going on about Saul Niguez, you know, that Atletico Madrid midfield I've been keeping you updated on. He's only 24 years of age, he's Spanish of course as well. I think quite a few teams have been interested in him, you know, Manchester United have been interested in, Manchester City have been interested in, and also too, he did say Barcelona have been interested in Saul Niguez as well. And he's versatile, this player, so that could be beneficial as well. You know, he can play as a defensive mid, he can play as a central mid, and he can also operate on the right hand side as well. You know, can Saul Niguez. He has spent the majority of his career with Atletico Madrid. I think he was loaned out somewhere else, but he's obviously, you know, spent the majority of his career with Atletico Madrid. He graduated from the IU system, and I think he's gone on to make like over 200 appearances, you know, for Atletico Madrid. I think he feels unhappy now in Spain with Atletico Madrid. Reports came out the other week saying that he's interested in making a move to the Premier League, but again, he's probably not going to come cheap. You know, obviously he did say that he's got a release clause of around 128 million in his current contract with Atletico Madrid. I think Atletico Madrid are preparing for negotiations, you know, to try and get Saul Niguez a new contract with Atletico Madrid as well. So he could be a possible replacement, you know, for Ander Herrera, and he's still young, so he's still got a lot of years ahead of him, Saul Niguez. There was talks the other day as well about Idrissa Gueye, as a lot of people, you know, would have updated you on as well. Idrissa Gueye, of course, plays for Everton, as we all know as well. He's been at Everton quite a few years now. Obviously, he's Premier League proven, of course. He's Premier League proven as Idrissa Gueye. He's a defensive midfielder, is Idrissa Gueye, and he is 29 years of age, and he's a Senegal international. Obviously, same age as Herrera. I think if you look at it, comparing them, I think Ander Herrera, of course, has had better of the career than Saul Niguez. But Saul Niguez has proven himself fantastic well as an Everton player. I think all in all he's made about 130 appearances in the Premier League. Obviously this was including his season he had with Aston Villa. Obviously the majority of his appearances have obviously, you know, become as an Everton player as well. I think he completed the most tackles in the 2016 was it the 2016-17 season as well. So he can intercept, he can break the play, you know, can Idrissa Gueye as well. Obviously Everton got him for just I think Everton got him for like just over £7 million, was it, or something like that, because Everton triggered a release clause in his contract and got him from Aston Villa, you know, for just over £7 million. Obviously, based on his performances last year in February, he got his contract renewed with Everton until 2022 as well. So I do think he'd blend in very, very well in our midfield. Reports are coming out saying that he could be available for a reasonable figure this summer, and he could be available for £30 million or maybe even less than £30 million as well. So there was talks going on about Idrissa Gueye. PSG, of course, inquired about getting him in January, but PSG, of course, had a couple of bids turned down for Idrissa Gueye in January as well, because I think reportedly back in January, Everton were demanding that they wanted around £40 million for Idrissa Gueye as well. So yeah, could he possibly, you know, replace Ander Herrera? There's also been a lot of talks, you know, going on about Declan Rice as well. There's also been a lot of talks going on about him. He did say Manchester United are prepared to spend up to £50 million for Declan Rice. For me, he's one of England's youngest upcoming talents. Obviously, you know, he's only 20 years of age. He's had a good season this season with West Ham. He got a new contract back in December with them. Obviously, you know, until 2024. Did Declan Rice as well. But yeah, I've seen some of his performances this season for West Ham. You know, they've looked very, very good indeed. You know, Declan Rice's performances. Obviously, initially began his career with Chelsea. Did Declan Rice? He joined at the age of 7. Was there a number of years. He got axed off at 14. Joined West Ham's youth system. I think he's been in the West Ham senior squad, you know, quite a few years now, but he's going to be available for a reasonable figure this summer. Hello? What? Yeah. 0-0 at the moment. Alright. Alright. Bye. Sorry guys, I was just on the phone there. So yes, as I was saying, yes, so yeah, do you think Declan Rice, would be the right solution for Manchester United? I think West Ham would want about £50 million. Would want around £50 million for Declan Rice this summer as well. And yeah, so we do know, obviously, Paul Pogba's future is up in the air as well, because obviously, there's been a lot of reports going on about him, linking him with a move to Real Madrid as well. So his future's up in the air at the moment, Paul Pogba's. There has been a lot of talks going on. Linking with a move to Real Madrid, as I said, and obviously, as we all do currently know, reports came out yesterday, was it, or the day before, that's saying that Manchester United are set to offer Paul Pogba the captain's armband on a permanent basis. Probably when Antonio Valencia does leave the club in the summer on a free transfer, because Valencia served 10 years a year as a Manchester United player, but we opted against that decision, to trigger that 1 year extension, and obviously Valencia is on his way out this summer when his contract comes to an end. But we're willing to offer Pogba the captain's armband on a permanent basis, to convince him to stay at Manchester United. Obviously, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has spoken to Paul Pogba, of course, and from Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's preference, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer insists that Paul Pogba won't leave, and Solskjaer won't let Paul Pogba leave, and Solskjaer insists that Paul Pogba is focused on Manchester United, of course, and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer says he's not thinking about a move to Real Madrid. But obviously, as we all do know, a couple of weeks back, Paul Pogba was speaking a lot about Real Madrid, as we all know. Obviously, Zinedine Zidane is a big admirer of Paul Pogba as well, and obviously Zinedine Zidane is emphasising his targets for this summer, as we all know. And he's got quite a few targets on his agenda, Chelsea's Eden Hazard, Christian Eriksen as well. And he did reportedly say Real Madrid are willing to offload Toni Kroos, to make room for the likes of Pogba and Christian Eriksen, of course, as well. But potentially Ole Gunnar Solskjaer insists that he won't leave, and as I did say, Solskjaer spoke to him. Reports came out the other day saying that Paul Pogba and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's relationship is reportedly is slowly fading, because they have built a great relationship up, together with Paul Pogba and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer as well. But obviously, I think Man United are also set to begin contract negotiations, with Paul Pogba. They're set to begin contract negotiations with Paul Pogba, to convince him to stay at Manchester United. And reports came out the other week saying that Paul Pogba was demanding he wants around £500,000 a week, if he's to stay at Manchester United, and if he's to commit his long-term future at Manchester United, he wants about £500,000 a week, of course, because in his current deal at the moment, Pogba's on £300,000 a week, so he's demanding a £200,000 pay rise, of course, as well. Paul Pogba, of course, is still in the contract with Manchester United till 2021, so he's still got over 2 years left on his deal. There's also an option of a further year as well, for Paul Pogba. But yeah, as we all do currently know, his current agent, Raiola, has had a couple of negotiations, with Real Madrid. He's been to Manchester, to have a couple of negotiations as well, over a summer move for Paul Pogba as well. So there has been a hell of a lot of rumours going on about it. He's heading into his 4th season now as a Manchester United player. He's Pogba. Obviously, we paid £89 million back in 2016 from Juventus. And there's also been rumours going on that he could possibly make a return back to Italy, and go back to Juventus, of course, as well, Paul Pogba. So there has been a lot of talks about it, but now we have got quite a few players, demanding, quite a bit more money, as we all know as well. I did say, what currently Sanchez is receiving. Obviously, Sanchez is our highest paid player. It's totally taking its toll, and it's affecting our wage structure in a bad way, to be quite honest, because currently what Sanchez is earning. Obviously now we've got quite a few more players, that are demanding, more money as well. And you've got De Gea, we haven't got De Gea to a new contract, as we all know yet. Reportedly he's demanding, he wants around £350,000 a week, does De Gea, if he is to commit his long-term future at Manchester United. Don't get me wrong, I think De Gea is happy at Manchester United, to be fair, but he's happy at Manchester United, De Gea, to be fair, but, he's demanding £350,000 a week. Manchester United are reportedly not willing to meet his £350,000 a week wage demands. Real Madrid, of course, have been long admirers of De Gea. Recent reports came out the other week saying that PSG were interested in David De Gea as well. But this is David De Gea. He has been a good servant to the club. Obviously, he's made over 300 appearances for Manchester United. He's won everything he domestically. He's won the club's player of the year 4 out of 5 seasons. He's still in the contract here till 2020. He's David De Gea, don't forget, because obviously we activated a 12-month extension last year as well. So hopefully somewhere along the line we could come to an agreement of getting him a new contract. In his current deal at the moment, De Gea is on about £200,000 a week as well. But yeah, players are going to leave Manchester United in the summer, and I definitely want Ashley Young, to leave the club in his summer. And over the years, he has been a good servant to Manchester United. And obviously, you know, back in the day, was a really good winner, was Ashley Young. But now he's too old. He's 33 years of age. I don't know why we give him a new 1 year extension, but by the time his new 1 year extension, expires, Ashley Young will be nearly 35 years of age, of course. Well, I think he's made over 300 other appearances for the club, but for me now he gets exploited far too easily, loses the possession too easily, does Ashley Young, so I think he's definitely on his way out. I want him to leave this summer. Whether he'll leave this summer or not, I do not know, but I hope he does leave this summer, you know, Ashley Young. I think Rojo's definitely on his way out of Manchester United as well. I thanked what he's done for the club, but I think he should be going in the summer. I also think Damien's going to be possibly, you know, going in the summer as well, because he's enjoyed a very difficult time at Manchester United. He actually could make a return back to Italy, because he did spend the majority of his career in Italy, of course, when he was younger as well. Did Matteo Darmian. Sanchez, I think, could be still on his way out in the summer. It depends now, obviously, he's recovered from injury, you know, when he does get some more opportunities, Sanchez, it depends how he performs, of course, as well, but I still think he could be on his way out at Manchester United this summer, even though it's going to be hard, you know, extremely difficult to find a buyer, considering his, you know, his wages he's currently on, of course, his staggering amount of wages he's on. Obviously it's going to be very difficult indeed, you know, to find a buyer for him. I don't think many teams can afford to pay Sanchez's wages off, so whether we get rid of him in the summer or not, I do not know, but I think he could possibly, you know, go in the summer. Juan Mata probably on his way out of the club as well. Well, maybe not, you know, unless Man United can come to some sort of agreement, you know, to get him a new contract, of course. And for my preference and my own opinion, I hope we can get Juan Mata a new contract, because I think he's been a great servant to the club, Juan Mata. I know he's aging up now, he's age 30, he's Juan Mata, but he's well proven in the Premier League. He's won quite a lot of trophies as Juan Mata. He hasn't won the Premier League, and that's the only thing he hasn't won, but this is his 5th season now at United, you know, Juan Mata's. We paid £40 million in from Chelsea, was it, or just under £40 million in from Chelsea back in 2014. He actually served 2.5-3 years with Chelsea, you know, did Juan Mata, of course, so we won't be willing to offer him a long-term contract, of course. It will probably be maybe a 1 year extension, you know, if we had to come to an agreement, you know, to get Juan Mata a new contract as well. So yeah, he may stay, I do not know, but there has been rumours that he could possibly leave this summer as well. But as I did say, guys, sorry about my vape, but as I did say, guys, you know, I can't wait for this game tomorrow against Barcelona. It's going to be very interesting indeed, you know. It's obviously going to be a different game, you know, to the game at Old Trafford, of course, as well, because Barcelona are on their own patch, they're on their own turf, you know, they've got all the, you know, the 90 odd or 100,000 fans behind them as well. You know, obviously they're a well-established club, you know, they've got a great static stadium, you know, they've got loads and loads of money, you know, they've got great players at Barcelona, you know, they're going to win the La Liga, you know, yet again, this is their 4th La Liga in 5 seasons, of course, as well. Barcelona have also got Frankie de Jong coming in this summer as well, haven't they? You know, they paid £65 million for him from Ajax back in, it was last summer, wasn't it? Yeah, they paid £65 million in from Ajax last summer, but obviously it's a year in advance, so Frankie de Jong is due to be a Barcelona player in the new season, of course, as well. But yeah, it'll be an interesting game indeed. So anyway, guys, we're going to look at some more news anyway to see what is going on. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do, consider subscribing as always, and take care. God bless. I'll see you all again very soon, guys. Thanks for watching.